Right, so for today's video, we have some workout drama, more specifically drama revolving this studio right here called Solid Core. From what I can tell, it's a pretty expensive studio. I mean, I looked on their website and the monthly memberships range from like $153 to $414. If you commit to 12 months, then it's a little bit cheaper from $115 to $311. Either way, still pretty expensive. Now, a TikTok user who frequently goes to Solid Core, he actually posted a video saying that he's having his like 1000th workout at Solid Core. His name is Anthony Fester. We can see his account right here. Well, he's recently posted a series of videos talking about this situation with Solid Core. And it all started about a week ago when he posted this video showing that he went for his workout class at 6 a.m, but it turns out he was the only person there.
The only one at Solid Core at 6 a.m. on Sunday. I don't even think the teacher's here. Look. Oh my god. No one's here.
Now, there seems to be a bit of a debate as to why no one was there, right? So from Anthony's videos, he basically says that the instructor was late, just didn't show up until about halfway through the workout. But as we'll also see in different responses, there's claims that the class was cancelled and Anthony knew it was cancelled, but he showed up anyways, and then that's when the instructor had to show up. We don't really know what the actual answer is. I mean, I guess you can make your own mind up once we kind of talk through the situation. But either way, the video carries on. Anthony kind of turns on the lights. He's using like the iPad to play music. He's talking about how he's the only one there. And then he actually shows that the instructor has texted him, but he's not going to reply and just wants to do a private class instead.
You guys, my teacher is literally not at Solid Core. I don't know what is going on. Oh my god, you guys, the Solid Core coach texted me. I'm not answering. I'm giving myself a private. You snooze, you lose. I was here on time. I'm doing my class.
Now, the problem being here is in that clip that we just watched, you can see that the phone is blurred. In the original video that is still up live as I'm recording this video, it's not blurred, and the phone number is just visible, which, I mean, is obviously not great, right? He's basically leaking this person's phone number. I will say it's pretty blurry. It's not the easiest phone number to read, but you could probably make out what the number is. Now, as the video carries on, Anthony's kind of doing his workout. He goes to go and change something on the iPad, and then the instructor shows up.
Percolator. Hi.
You here?
Yeah. I was giving myself a private.
This is 750.
Songs are back. Alright, let's just do like abs and obliques or something.
Yeah.
Then the video carries on, he shows more of his workout, we actually see him and the instructor in the video, and then he leaves and says that it was all fine.
Overall, I'd say a very good makeshift private Solid Core.
But that is definitely not where the situation ends, and in fact, Anthony has been uploading a series of videos over the past week, kind of giving updates as to what's happening. For example, his next video is talking about the fallout of the original video.
Hi guys, this is gonna be kind of hard for me to do. I wanted to come on here and talk about the fallout from my Solid Core video. So if you haven't seen my Solid Core video, I'll sum it up for you real quick.
So yeah, he goes on to give a recap of the video we just watched, and then this is where we actually get to the update.
Once I left the class, the teacher started blowing up my TikTok, my Instagram, my phone, being like, oh, Callie, one of the other teachers at the studio, said you could keep the last 30 seconds of the video, but you need to edit out all the rest. Like, can you please delete the video? Can you please take it down? Etc., etc., etc. Mind you, this is Thanksgiving weekend Sunday, okay? I'm not answering anybody on Sunday.
Yeah, so as we just heard, they're asking for the video to be removed, or at least the first half of the video. Now, the exact reason why, not 100% sure. We do hear that they were worried that people could, like, lose their job, so I'm guessing it's to do with the fact that he was able to walk in there and do a class by himself. Originally, I assumed it was because the person's phone number was in the video, but that doesn't really seem to be mentioned, or at least in Anthony's videos it doesn't.
So I don't reply back to this coach. I get a phone call from my best friend who also goes to Solid Core, who joined because of me, and he's friends with this other coach, Callie. He calls me, he's like, you need to take down this video. Callie just called me freaking out. She's saying she's gonna lose her job. Jaden's gonna lose her job. Wynn's gonna get in trouble. The studio's gonna be flagged. It's gonna affect us. You're gonna lose your membership. It's gonna be a whole thing. You need to take this video down. I literally just hang up on him. I'm like, I can't even deal with this right now. It's Thanksgiving. Like, I cannot believe these people right now.
Yeah, so listening to this part in the video, I do wonder if like a big concern of all of this is the fact that Anthony was able to go in there and do a class by himself, maybe for safety reasons. I mean, I obviously don't really know too much about Solid Core, right? But I don't know if usually you're able to go and use the equipment without an instructor present. And if that is the case, then maybe the fact that Anthony did do that and there was an instructor present could maybe cause some like legal issues for Solid Core, for example. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but that would maybe make sense as to why they really want to get that part of the video taken down. Now, as we'll see throughout Anthony's videos, his main response to that is the fact that it was the instructor that was late, and therefore it's their fault. But either way, the video continues. Anthony says that if they want to speak to him about this, then they should call him, to which they try to call him, he decides not to answer, and then it causes a rift in his friendship.
So I said to him, I said, you know what, since when are you Solid Core's PR? Like, I didn't realize you were on Solid Core's payroll. If there's an issue, Win can call me and let me know. So 10 minutes later, Win calls me. I don't pick up either of her calls. And you know, sometimes somebody leaves you like a ghost voicemail. Win is like the regional like manager or whatever. Her husband's in the background in one of these voicemails being like, tell him to call you back. I'm like, oh, she wants you to take the video down too. So at this point, I call back my friend because I'm like, he's literally going back and forth with these girls, telling them what I'm saying because they can't get in touch with me. I go, are you going back and forth with the Solid Core girls? He's like, oh, they called me. I'm like, get out of here, dude. Like, what the hell? The next day, I go to class. Callie's teaching. After class, I go up to Callie because this caused a big rift in my friendship. Like, I'm very upset with my friend, like this whole thing. I go up to her, I go, you know what, Callie, it's really not appropriate for you to be reaching out to my friend to get in contact with me about something that's completely unacceptable.
And then Anthony goes on to explain that it kind of gets resolved. There's still like a bad taste in his mouth with like the way that the coach has acted. But overall, he believes that there's nothing wrong with his video.
Like, I've never heard of a coach reaching out to a client to reach out to another client on behalf of the coach. Pretty sure that's not happening at Barry's, that's not happening at SLT, and that's definitely not happening at Equinox. And trust me, a lot's happening at Equinox. So after I talk to Win, I'm just like, this is completely unacceptable. I like talk to Win's boss and tell him the whole story as well. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now. I just have like a really bad taste in my mouth with these coaches. Like, it was so unprofessional. Oh, and by the way, there was nothing wrong with my video. It's allowed to be up. Like, there's no issues with the video. These girls were not going to get in trouble. Okay. That's the big kicker. Yeah, so what really happened was someone didn't show up to their job on time. I saw an opportunity to vlog and took it, and these girls tried to cover their asses and thought in some way I would take the fall, whether it was taking down the video, whether it was editing the video to make them look better, or interfering with my friendship and having my friend try to have me take down the video.
Okay, so what I'm gathering from what he just said there is that Solid Core themselves weren't too bothered about the video. They're fine with being up, but the instructor doesn't want the video to be up because it makes them look unprofessional, I guess. Now, the next video that Anthony uploads is one where he says he's going back to Solid Core, he's going to do another class, and I guess it's his first time back since this whole fiasco.
Come to Solid Core with me during our feud.
It's 5:30 on a Saturday. I'm back at the scene of the crime. Honestly, these girls could be torturing my brother and I would still come here.
And now this next part of the video is interesting, right? Because he walks into the class, he says hello, he then says sorry about the video, and then we hear the instructor say that she needs to talk to him about the video and mention something to do with probation, and then the video cuts.
Hi,
Morning.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, sorry about the video.
Oh, you know what? I do have to talk to you about that.
Why?
As part of my probation, I have 3, 2.
And yeah, like I said, that's where the video cuts. We don't get any extra context. He just goes on to show his class, and overall he says that it went fine. Now, Anthony's next video in this situation is actually responding to a Reddit thread. And it's on the Solid Core subreddit. We can see here that basically the original post is just explaining Anthony's videos in a situation, and then says overall the problem is the fact that he's filming on some meta glasses. They don't want people filming next to you with glasses on. For some extra context, looking at Anthony's page, I believe he has vlogged Solid Core 3 times. He did one for his his 1000th class where he kind of films the class. And then the next one is the one that we saw earlier where it's just him and then the instructor shows up halfway through. And then the last one that I can see is the one that we kind of just saw there where he again films like the class. Now the main part of this post that Anthony ends up responding to is actually this post right here, and it's someone claiming that they also take this same class. I take classes at the studio and I've seen his behaviour multiple times. This isn't a one-off situation. He often doesn't follow the rules, shows up without being registered, takes other people's machines, and records during classes even after being told not to. He has posted multiple videos that show other people working out in the background without their consent. I have seen him walk out mid-class after doing his own routine which disrupts everyone else. You can also see in his own video that the instructor texted him saying that the class was cancelled and asked if he was still coming, so the idea that she just no-showed isn't accurate based on what he posts himself. The thing I will say about this is the text messages, I can't really make out what was actually said. It's a little blurry, and even trying to pause it at certain points, I couldn't really read what the text messages said, but yeah, she obviously did text him, we saw that in the video. The actual issue of this is that Solid Core cannot have clients using the equipment inside the studio without a staff member present. That's a basic safety and liability rule at any fitness studio, not something unique to this studio. When someone repeatedly ignores boundaries, films clients without consent, and disrupts the flow of the class, it affects the entire experience. At a certain point, you do wonder how long a private studio is expected to tolerate behaviour that pushes other members away. Most places would have already removed someone with a pattern like this for safety and privacy reasons. So yeah, I believe that is one of the responses that Anthony directly responds to, as we'll see. One part of that he definitely does respond to directly is the whole like stealing other people's benches. He basically asks like, how is that even possible? And even in this post, actually, the original poster did kind of give a description of this because I guess someone else asked. And they said, when you don't sign up for a class that's full, which is his MO, but you walk in and camp on someone else's reserved machine hoping that it won't show up, they always show up. He gets removed from the room by the coach, leaves the machine dirty, and the booked member ends up with a sweaty reformer that they didn't even use. Now I do think it's important to note here that I obviously don't know for a fact if this actually is someone who goes to the same class as Anthony. Anthony does end up directly responding to it, and he is basically claiming that the staff are telling members to post stuff on Reddit, I guess. So by the looks of it, he believes that it is someone from the class, but yeah, I just think that's important to note. Now, there was also a video that was posted by a user called Taylor Perret, I believe. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Where she basically talks about the Reddit post and says that the reason why the instructor was blowing up his phone is because they were friends and she trusted him.
And also, you failed to mention the reason why that coach was blowing up your phone Thanksgiving weekend. It's because you guys are friends. Because she thought she could trust you. And instead, you absolutely stabbed her in the back. For attention, views, and money. Well, one thing's for sure, you definitely got the attention. Perhaps not the one that you wanted because your behavior has fully been put on blast.
Now, Anthony actually commented on this video saying, she is not my friend. Because we follow on Instagram, does that mean she's a friend? I don't have her number. We don't hang out outside the studio. I'm a paying customer that was friendly until they cross a boundary. To which Taylor then responds saying, if she's not your friend, how did you know your way around to the degree you could unlock the iPad, put on music, and open the studio all by yourself? And you never address putting her actual phone number online for millions of people to see. We are really curious about that. Now, Anthony didn't respond in the comments, but he did make a follow-up video where it seems like he addresses this video as well as a Reddit post.
Hey guys, I just wanted to clear up a few things about the Solid Core beef. So me and those girls were not friends. I mean, we follow each other on Instagram. I follow a couple of them. They follow me back. But in my mind, we weren't friends. We don't have each other's numbers. We don't text. We've never hung outside of the studio together. They were friends with my friend. I'm not friends with them. I don't hang out with them outside of the studio. I was a friendly member.
And then he goes on to directly respond to the Reddit thread.
And as far as the Reddit thread, I don't even want to give it life. It's so hilarious. You have to ask yourself, how all of a sudden do these people have a problem with him? And there's all these complaints after he just made a viral video, yet he's been going to Solid Core 5 times a week for 6 years, and there's never been an issue. And he's like a star Solid Core person. Like, I'm sorry. How do I steal someone's machine at Solid Core? You guys see my video. I'm like the earliest one there. I'm the first one there. There's no machines for me to steal. They're all open.
Yeah, so if you remember, the response to that in the post was the fact that you have to like confirm that you're going or book a place there, and he doesn't book and shows up and just takes someone else's machine. Obviously, I don't know if that's true.
Also, no one ever said anything to me about filming. Everything was fine for my 1000th class, that video that I filmed of my 1000th class. No one ever said anything about the meta glasses or told me that it wasn't okay. I just think it's so funny that people in Darien are like crashing out about this. It's literally like the coaches and like them telling the members that they're friends with to like say something because they know they're not going to find support here. So they have to go to Reddit. I mean, come on, you guys.
And then finally, he goes on to respond to people that are saying that he is bisexual. And they're bringing up the fact that he's obviously recording people in the class, to which he just says that's not true.
Also, like, there was a comment on there that I'm like bi or something and might be recording these girls and like wanting them. No, babe, I'm not swinging for your team. I'm sorry. That ship has sailed. What?
Now, overall, looking at the comments on these videos and also the response videos on TikTok, it does seem like the majority of people are on Anthony's side. Like, for example, there's a video here from a user called As Told by Indy, in which he basically says that Anthony hasn't done anything wrong and she's glad that he stood on business.
I absolutely love that he still went to his class, period. Do not let people make you uncomfortable when you didn't do anything wrong. That's on them. If you take anything away from that situation, 100% stand on business. Don't let people put their faults on you and live your life freely.
And then another example of a response video I saw was from a user called Zach Morgan, who is actually a gym owner, in which he basically says that the staff's reaction says a lot and says that they should have just owned up to it and apologized.
And Solid Core is like going nuts, telling him to take it down, like throwing a tantrum. And their reaction says a lot because we're all human. We make mistakes. Instructors have showed up late or just like missed their alarm and not showed up for an early class. First off, 6 a.m. on a Sunday is crazy. Our early Sunday class is at 8. And even people are like, that's too early for a Sunday. But just own up to it. Apologize, move on. Like, it doesn't need to be a bigger deal than they're making it. And that's the problem. They are making this look really bad on them.
Now, interestingly, someone did actually comment on this video who says that they are a Solid Core coach. Again, I don't know that for a fact, but we can read the comment here. Hey, appreciate your context, but this is actually not what happened. Totally get that this is TikTok gossip down the line. I'm a Solid Core coach and I can clear up with full accuracy to tell you the real issue. Solid Core isn't making a big deal about it. The class was actually cancelled. The client was told about it. He showed up anyway and opened the door. Solid Core's fault. The client is actually the one posting a lot about it online, blowing it up. I believe for views and clout. Solid Core and the client resolved it internally behind the scenes. He's been editing the videos to his favour. So yeah, there's clearly some big differences here in the story, right? We've got Anthony saying that he wasn't told that the class was cancelled. He basically said that he didn't receive a text message until he was already there. And then obviously we've got the other response being that he knew that the class was cancelled. And then of course there's the other claims that were potentially made by other people at the class, to which Anthony has then responded to and just denied. So there's no real way for us to know 100% what's happened here, but bearing in mind all the information that we have seen, I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below of who you think's in the right, who you think's in the wrong, what should have been differently. Just all your thoughts, let me know. And yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye. Right, actually, before this video does end, I do just have one more thing to say, you know, for the people that stuck towards the end. And that is that I've actually made a new channel. Now, here's the thing. It's a bit of a niche channel, or like a very niche channel, and the chances are you probably wouldn't be interested in it, and that is absolutely fine. I'm only mentioning this in case there's some people that would be interested, but basically I've called it Callum Buys Stuff. It's just going to be me talking about things that I've bought recently, mainly like techie things, like gaming tech, and again, realise very niche, but it's just something that really interests me, and I really wanted to make a channel where I could talk about that stuff and show what I've bought recently. Again, very niche. As you're watching this, the first video should be live, I believe. It's me talking about a gaming handheld called the Steam Deck. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it, and a lot of you probably haven't as well. But either way, again, if that is something that interests you, feel free to go subscribe. It's linked in the description. If it's not something that would interest you, absolutely fine. Again, I do realise, very niche. It really is just something I wanted to do because I thought it would be fun. That's all it is. So yeah, link in the description, all that stuff, and yeah. Goodbye.